things have not been the way it used to be. This is what many people are facing, and many people have wasted their time and their money and their effort, and they've lost their study place, and nothing is being done about it. To the last person I talked about this, she has paid her school fees, she has bought many things, you know. This is the current issue. This is the current problem. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So I received some questions about studying in Finland, and then also I received a lot of complaints, especially on Instagram DM. Some people have been complaining that they lost their study place and all that. So I started doing some kind of research about it, and I also spoke with some people, and then they told me that this has been the problem that they've been encountering, that it has been difficult to get visa and all that, and then they have study place, they've been admitted and all that to study in Finland. So this has been an issue. So I decided that I'm going to find out more about it. So I started asking people on Facebook, and I go to websites and all that, and I read the comment section, and people are complaining about this. And also I received emails as well about this same issue. The fact remains that Finland is one of the countries that have very good education system. So it's not surprising when you see people coming from developing countries to come to study in Finland for their masters or even for first degree, and even in Europe, from European countries, you see other students coming here as well for maybe their exchange studies and all that. But things have not been the way it used to be. That is the truth, and that is why I'm making this video. Usually when they apply for a study place, they get the admission, and then the next process is to apply for your student permit or your resident permit or your visa. It also depends on how long your study is going to be for. So during my time when I received the admission, getting a resident permit was not difficult at all, because the university usually sends a list of the students that are admitted to the embassy. So by the time you apply and all that, your information is already there waiting for you. So when you get there, you apply. So things are actually easier for you. And secondly, there is this priority level that they place students. So they usually put student visa application on a top priority. So there are lots of reasons why people apply for visa or resident permit. It could be for work or for family relocation or for missionary work or something. It could be anything. But then and also refugee application and all that, but they always place student application on top of the list so that they quickly process, because they have, the truth is that they have a lot of applications, so there's a queue, there's a lot of workload for them, so it's not easy. So they put student applications first, and then they prioritize them first so that students can quickly get their resident permit, and then they can start school at the right time when they're supposed to resume. Now the problem is that so many people have lost their study places because the university give them admission, but then they can't secure a resident permit from the embassy. This is the current issue. This is the current problem. So there has been lots. If you ask people that are trying to study in Finland, this is what they will tell you that they are going through. The visa application and the resident permit application has been outsourced. During my time, I applied directly to the embassy. There was no agent in between. But now the embassy has kind of remove themselves from it, in that they now put an agent to take care of it. So you have to go through the agent, and after that then they can schedule an interview for you with the embassy. So I guess this way it's supposed to make things easier for the embassy, so that they can maybe focus on other things they have to do, or for the migrant, you know, so they can focus on other things. But the problem now is that the outsourced agency isn't working so fast. That is number one issue. I made a video about this some time ago. Even the agency has a lot of queue, a lot of workload. The good thing is that their website is quite explanatory. So when you go to the website, that's the VFSglobal.com, that's the name of the agency. They're the ones handling the resident permit matters and the visa applications now for Finland. So if you go to their website, you will see that everything is arranged, all the steps are there. So they made it quite easy for you. But then when you're done with the application, you want to apply for a date, book an appointment for interview. That is where the problem is. You are going to stay and then online trying to refresh and all that, and then there is no date, nothing comes up. And when it comes up, you have to be fast, if not it goes away. So this is an issue that many people are facing. Okay, flow with me. This is the first part. Booking an appointment is an issue. So finally you succeed and you get a date. All right, you go there to the VFS. Now they don't make it clear on the website that the date is for you to just submit your documents. Okay, so when you go there, you submit your documents. All right, you're expecting that you have an interview, but they will book another date for you to go for the interview. So imagine you're coming from another country. Okay, let's say because Finland is the embassy in Nigeria. Okay, I use Nigeria as an example. The embassy in Nigeria is the one taking control or in charge of neighboring countries like Ghana or Cameroon. Okay, so let's say you're coming from Ghana to Nigeria, you book an appointment to the VFS office for your interview. You get there, you find out that you're supposed to only submit your documents. You have to book another date for the interview. So that means you have to travel to Nigeria 2 times, or you have to stay in the hotel for 1 extra week. That is an issue. That is one issue that people are facing. So finally, you submitted your documents and then you just have no option. You have to book another date for you to go for the interview. So you go for the second interview and then you're hoping that you quickly round up everything so that you can start school, you know, travel and all that, only for you to wait forever. This is where the problem is. Many people that have sent me email, they are complaining of the waiting period. They have to wait so long time for their resident permit to be approved or not, and then by the time they get the response, sometimes somebody was waiting for 8 months, and by the time he got it, the school has already started. I've got emails from people on different scenarios. So there was one of them that we talked about this. So I said he should message the school to see if they can assist. The school said that they cannot assist with that they have nothing to do with the resident permit application. That is strange, because when I applied during my time, what happens is that the school said, like I said, the school sends a list already to them. So that way, it's like the embassy and the school are working together. It is of no use that you get an admission in a country, but the government of the country does not give you your resident permit. That is the issue. That is the major issue right now. And I hope that this can be fixed. There was another lady. The problem for her was that she has already paid her school fees. She has paid the first installment of the school fees. So the embassy suggested to her that she can try to defer her admission to the next year. So that's what she was trying to work on now, to see if the school will accept that option, that she can defer her admission and then she can start next year. But apart from that, okay, even if it's possible to do that, it's a little bit demoralizing. Imagine you already planned that you're going to go for your master's degree or study. You've already put away your things. Maybe you have an apartment you've rented out. You know, you've done everything, prepared everything ready, and then at the end of the day, it's not working. Because my God, when you've already paid your school fees, in your mind you're going, you know, so you should just start making other things ready, only for you not to get the visa or the resident permit on time. Okay, so many people have ended up losing their study place. You see, someone is saying that it's a nightmare waiting for migrant, okay, to get you the resident permit. That's what someone is saying. It's frustrating because at the end of the day, you end up losing your study place. Another person said, a friend of mine got his resident permit too late and lost his study rights. You see that problem? I understand that the university is not the one giving the visa or the resident permit, and the embassy or the migrant is not the one, that's the immigration service, is not the one giving the admission, the study place. But it would be nice if these two bodies can work together. You're watching this video and you know someone who could help or who could get this to them, please share this video, guys. Share it, because what these students are going through is not easy just because they want to study. You have to go through the application process. You have to submit all your documents. You have to legalize your documents. You have to write your entrance exam, and then sometimes it has to be coupled with an interview. Some write an entrance exam and also an interview. It takes a long process. It takes time. It takes a lot of sweat, and then it doesn't make sense. It's not so nice if at the end of the day you get admission and then you end up losing it because you could not get a resident permit on time. You already gave the study place. That means you already checked all the documents and all that. The person is intellectually able to study in your school and the person has the requirements, so everything checked. So it would be really nice if they can work together to make this happen. So it's actually difficult for you to see someone that the resident permit was rejected. That's not a common issue. Visa is rejected all the time, okay? But then for a resident permit for you to study, it's not always rejected, okay? You get it, but well, maybe if you have if you apply for a resident permit, you want to study in Finland and it was rejected, write it in the comment section. I want to know if they do reject resident permit application. I've not really heard. It's not a common thing. So the last person I talked about this, she has paid her school fees, she has bought many things, you know, and she has concluded everything. She has resigned from her job. Of course, maybe you don't be too fast, because this is the issue right now. Because this is happening right now, it's advisable not to be too fast. Apply for your resident permit and apply on time. That's what the universities always tell you. Apply on time so you can get it. There's a lady, like I spoke with her on Instagram. She did not get the admission on time. She did not. They just sent her a letter, something like that, that the admission board has looked at her documents, and then they see her fit to be admitted. So she was not sure if that was admission. She was wondering, so is this an admission letter, or is it that they're just suggesting or recommending her for admission? Because that was what the letter said. It said that she has been recommended to be admitted, you know. So it wasn't clear. And then she waited a while waiting for the university to send the admission letter, and nothing came. So finally she had to when we were talking, I said contact the university and ask them if they have this is an admission for you, you know, or they have something, another letter coming. And then she contacted them and they said yes, that she has been admitted. Okay, and it's already getting late. Okay, so she quickly tried to apply for her resident permit, but she didn't apply so early. So because of all that waiting, it was late. So she did not get it on time. It took a long time, and then the school was supposed to resume in August. So we were talking, and I asked her, well, during my time, some students could not come in August. Like I remember I came 3rd of September. Some people come later on. You can ask the school that you're not going to start on time, so you may miss some courses because of this particular issue, what just happened. You may miss some of the classes, but you can catch up later. Then she messaged them, and then they replied her that no, she has to resume on that day, on time. If she does not come on time, then she has to wait for 1 whole year. It's quite upsetting because the school knows that she has already paid for 1 year. So why can't you at least try to step in? So that is where my issue is coming from. These are your students. You already gave them admission. Okay, so you can step in. Even if you're not giving them the visa, you're not the one in charge of giving visa, but you can make the process easier for them. If the university can inform the embassy, number one, and secondly, work together with the embassy, like have an agreement that student permits should be put on top priority. That would be nice. And then thirdly, situations are different. Every situation is different. Every circumstance is different. So when you're looking at this kind of issues, you have to look at them on every different perspective. I'm talking like this because these are things that people are facing, and you will never know about it except they tell you. So please, if you know anyone working in the university or in the organizations, share this video on their website so that they can be aware and do something about it. And I want to say that if you're trying to study in Finland, please do not hesitate to message the university. This is what I always tell people about. When people send me messages and they tell me, I don't know, I'm not sure about this or that, the university, like if I read them to you, now also Facebook DM, I don't always go into my Facebook DM because that's a page, but I always kind of see Instagram DM. But Facebook DM, I hardly go to the messenger. I don't like using messenger because it's quite annoying, the beep all the time, so I don't use it. But I'm always like more on Instagram, and also emails, like I get emails. So and then what they always say is that I'm not sure. What do you think? I give my opinion. Do you think this? Do you think that? What do you think? I give my opinion based on my experiences and also based on general research and all that. But I always tell them to contact the university. Do not hesitate to send them an email. As long as you are applying, you are a prospective student, or you have been given admission, you are an admitted student, so you have rights to ask questions. Even if you have not been given admission, you're a prospective student. If there's something you need to know, you're not sure about, do not hesitate to contact them. That way you're not going to make mistakes. And please apply for your resident permit on time, because the earlier you apply for it, the less delay you will encounter. It's funny, when I applied my time, I didn't stay up to, it was so quick and it came, like I applied and then they said, okay, send your bank details. Then tuition was free, so we didn't pay school fees, but we have to have some money on your account. So when I sent my bank details to them, the next day they replied me, okay, your visa has been approved. You know, it was that fast. So another thing that causes delay is when you don't have all the documents that they asked for. If they ask you for documents and then you go through the list, there's always this full list. Download it and tick everything, and then make sure you put all the documents that are required. Then all this will help to reduce the delay of the processing time. Okay, so guys, that's the end of this video. And I know that some of you are going through these things that I just talked about, so I really hope that this issue is being resolved, you know, that they do something about it. This is what many people are facing, and many people have wasted their time and their money and their effort, and they've lost their study place. So I hope that this makes the change. Thank you guys so much for watching. If this was helpful to you and you think this video makes sense, please give it a thumb up. Thank you. And if this is your first time on my channel, please subscribe down below, and also put your comments on this topic. What are your thoughts? What you think about this? Put in the comment section down below. Let's talk about it, guys, and I'll be seeing you in my next video. Bye.